Opening, the man beyond the roar, Roman Reigns, the name that thunders across WWE arenas, symbol of strength, dominance, and unshakable power. When the lights hit the ring and the crowd erupts, he enters like a force of nature. The tribal chief, the head of the table, the face of an era. But when the cameras stop rolling, when the crowd quiets, and the championship belts are laid to rest, there stands a different man. A father, a husband, a gentle soul who carries a far greater responsibility than any title belt could offer. His family, behind the intense stare and powerhouse punches, lives a man with a deep heart, a heart full of love for his wife, his daughter, and his sons. While the world sees Roman as an unstoppable warrior, only a few truly know the soft, emotional side of Liadi Joseph Anoa'i, the man behind the myth. And today, we're taking you beyond the wrestling ring. This isn't a story about victories or rivalries. This is a story about love, loyalty, and the family that fuels a champion. The love story that started it all along. Before he became Roman Reigns' WWE megastar, he was just Joe, a young college athlete at Georgia Tech, full of dreams and fire. That's where he met Galina Becker, a talented and stunning track and field star. The connection was instant, natural, powerful. It wasn't just the love of sports that brought them together. It was mutual respect, shared values, and a bond. That would only grow stronger with time. In 2014, after years of standing by each other's side, through thick and thin, Roman and Galina tied the knot in an intimate, dreamlike wedding on a private island in the Bahamas. No flashing lights. Number A. Paparazzi. Just love since that day. Galina has remained the queen beside the tribal chief, holding the family down with grace and strength while Roman conquered the wrestling world. Joelle, the princess of the Anoa'i legacy. In 2008, Roman and Galina were blessed with their first child, a daughter named Joelle Anoa'i, lovingly nicknamed JoJo. Roman may rule the ring, but at home, Joelle rules his heart. You may have caught a glimpse of Joelle in a father-daughter public service announcement years ago. Her confidence, smile, and charm immediately caught the world's attention. What fans didn't see was the powerful impact she had on her dad. Roman has often spoken about how fatherhood changed him forever, especially after Joelle's birth. He became more focused, more determined, and more grounded. A sense of purpose that no championship belt ever could. Whether it's school projects, bedtime stories, or helping her learn life's lessons, Roman shows up. Always, even when on the road or under pressure. Joelle remains at the center of his world. The boys who give him strength. Roman, as life grew even fuller in 2016, when he and Galina welcomed twin boys. And in an almost unbelievable blessing, they had another set of twins in 2020, making Roman the proud father of 5 children. Yes, that's right, 5. And while Roman keeps his sons' names private, it's clear that they are a powerful part of his life. He may be the tribal chief to fans, but to his boys, he's simply dad, the guy who tucks them in at night, watches cartoons, and teaches them how to be strong, kind, and brave. In interviews, Roman lights up when asked about his kids. He calls them his biggest motivation and his reason to keep pushing through every challenge. When the world went into lockdown during the pandemic, Roman made a bold choice. He stepped away from WWE for a while, not because of fear, but because of fatherhood. He wanted to protect his young children, especially his newborn twins. From any possible risk, he didn't return until it felt safe again, showing the world that no title is more important than the safety of his family. Galina, the quiet force beside the giant while Roman battles legends in the ring. Galina battles real-life challenges behind the scenes, and she does it with incredible strength and humility. When Roman went public with his leukemia diagnosis, it wasn't just a difficult time for him, it was a battle for the entire family. Galina stood by his side with unwavering support. She kept their home strong, their children calm, and their love unshaken. She rarely seeks the spotlight. She doesn't chase attention, but Galina's role in Roman's life is undeniable. Roman once said, "Everything I do, everything I fight." 4. It starts at home. Galina gives me peace. Their relationship is a rare kind, a mix of passion, patience, and unbreakable loyalty. It's not loud, it's not public, but it's real. The heart that fuels the fire so the next time you see Roman Reigns walking down the ramp, championship in hand, remember he's not just a champion of WWE, he's a champion of fatherhood, of marriage, and of love. Behind the armor of the tribal chief is a man who kisses his daughter goodnight, lifts his twin sons into his arms, and who holds his wife's hand when no one's watching. Roman Reigns isn't just fighting for legacy, he's fighting for the people who matter most his. The man behind the myth Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the head of the table, the most dominant force in modern WWE. His presence in the ring is unmatched, his aura electrifying, his legacy already legendary, but behind all the intensity, behind the roaring crowds and championship gold, lives a man who values something far greater than fame: family. And at the heart of his family stands a woman who has been there from the very beginning, Galina Becker, his wife, his biggest supporter, and the quiet strength behind his every success. This is the untold story of Roman Reigns and his one true love, a story of passion, patience, and unshakable partnership, where it all began, college sweethearts before the fame. Before WWE, Roman Reigns was just Liati Joseph Unoe, a talented college football player with dreams. Bigger than the field, it was at Georgia Institute of Technology, or Georgia Tech, that Roman's life took a beautiful turn. There he met Galina Becker, a driven, confident young woman who was already making her mark as a track and field athlete. They were both focused, disciplined, and fiercely competitive. But more importantly, they shared something deeper, a mutual understanding of what it means to struggle, to push hard, and to never give up. Their connection was instant. Galina wasn't impressed by hype. She saw the real Joe, the man behind the muscles. And Joe, in turn, found peace in Galina's calm presence, as student-athletes balancing studies, training, and personal dreams. They formed a bond built on respect and resilience. It's a kind of love that doesn't fade under pressure. The fairy tale wedding after years of growing together, and during the ups and downs of early adulthood, Roman and Galina decided to take the next step. In December 2014, they tied the knot in a private and breathtaking ceremony on Castaway Cay, a Disney-owned island in the Bahamas. Far from the chaos of showbiz, the ceremony was intimate, magical, and full of meaning. With the ocean breeze in the air and close friends and family present, the couple exchanged vows, promising to stand by each other through all storms and seasons. Galina wore an elegant dress designed to perfection, and Roman looked every bit the proud groom. The moment was personal, emotional, and exactly how they wanted it, away from fame, close to the heart. A quiet life away from the spotlight, Evan, after Roman's rise to stardom in WWE. The couple has maintained a surprisingly private life. While fans often see him on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, his home life is worlds apart from the lights of the arena. Together, Roman and Galina have built a sanctuary, a peaceful home filled with love, laughter, and the sound of little footsteps. They've chosen not to live in the constant glow of public attention. Instead, they protect their peace and focus on what truly matters, raising their children in a healthy, loving environment, despite being married to one of the most recognizable athletes in the world. Galina has never chased the spotlight. She appears rarely in media and prefers to support Roman behind the scenes, away from cameras and red carpets. The joy of fatherhood, meet Joel in 2008. Long before Roman's WWE stardom, the couple welcomed their first child, a beautiful daughter named Joelle Unoe, lovingly known as JoJo, from the moment she was born. Roman's life changed forever. He has said in interviews that fatherhood gave him perspective, that everything he does now, every match, every victory, every sacrifice is not for glory, but for his family. Joelle is confident, sweet, and smart, with her mother's grace and her father's presence. She even made a public appearance with Roman in a PSA public service announcement that melted the hearts of WWE fans. though Joelle is often shielded from public life. It's clear from Roman's words and expressions that she is the light of his life. The mystery of the twins. Then in 2016, the Reigns family grew bigger and fuller. Roman and Galina were blessed with twin boys, although their names have never been publicly shared. Roman has kept their identities private, wanting to give them a childhood far away from media pressure, and in a surprising twist of fate, the couple welcomed another set of twins in 2020, making Roman a proud father of 5 children. Yes, 5. The head of the table is also the head of a big, beautiful family. Though fans rarely see his children, Roman has often spoken about how deeply they motivate him. During the COVID-19 pandemic, he made headlines when he stepped away from WWE for several months, a bold decision that shocked many. But his reason was simple: I chose my family. He didn't want to risk his newborn twins' health, especially given his past battle with leukemia. It was a reminder to everyone that Roman Reigns is more than a superstar. He is a father first, Galina the queen behind the chief in all this. Galina Becker remains the quiet hero. Raising 5 kids while supporting one of the busiest men in sports entertainment is no easy task, but Galina does it with elegance and strength. When Roman went through his health battles, including to bouts with leukemia, Galina never left his side. The world saw him return stronger. They didn't see her holding him up when he was down, keeping the family whole when life got heavy. Their relationship is built on trust, time, and shared purpose. Roman often says, "Galina gives me balance." It's clear that while Roman may be the face of the WWE, Galina is the foundation at home. Final thoughts: Roman Reigns may dominate in the ring, but his real victory lies in the life he's built beyond it. A devoted husband, a proud father, a man who never forgets where he came from or who stands beside him in a world full of noise. Roman and Galina have chosen love, privacy, and peace. Now that's what true champions are. The daughter who changed everything. When we hear the name Roman Reigns, our minds immediately go to packed stadiums, intense rivalries, and championship belts held high in victory. But there's a side of Roman that fans rarely see, a side that's not about strength, but softness. Not about dominance, but dedication. That side of him was born the day his daughter, Joelle, came into the world, affectionately known as JoJo. She's not just Roman Reigns' daughter. She's the light of his life, his little princess, and perhaps the one person who can melt the tribal chief's heart with just a smile. This is the story of Joelle, the girl who turned a warrior into a father, and how that one title became the most important one Roman has ever held. Becoming a father, Roman's biggest transformation. Roman Reigns, his real name is Leotti Joseph Onoe, became a father to Joelle back in 2008, long before his WWE career reached its peak. At the time, he was still finding his path, still carving his identity in the world of sports and entertainment. But Joelle's arrival didn't just change his day-to-day life, it transformed his entire outlook. In interviews, Roman has often spoken about the emotional and mental shift he experienced when he became a dad. He said that Joelle gave him a sense of clarity and purpose that no job or fame ever could. She became his motivation, the reason he trained harder, fought smarter, and stayed humble, even in the face of superstardom. "Everything I do now has her in mind," Roman once said. "Every decision, every step forward, it's all for her." Joelle's first public appearance for years. Roman and his wife Galina Becker kept Joelle away from the public eye, not out of secrecy, but out of love and protection. Wanted her to grow up as normally as possible, away from flashing cameras and overwhelming attention. But fans finally got a heartwarming glimpse of Joelle in 2014. She appeared alongside her father in a public service announcement PSA. For fatherhood awareness, in that short video, Joelle stole the show. She laughed, played, and spoke with confidence and joy, reminding the world that behind the stoic WWE superstar was a soft-hearted daddy who adored his little girl. The video went viral, not because it was flashy, but because it was real. People weren't just seeing Roman Reigns, the wrestler. They were seeing Joe, the dad. It was in that moment that fans began to understand Joelle wasn't just his daughter. She was his anchor, his emotional center, his biggest pride. JoJo's spark, confidence, charisma, kindness, though Joelle lives a life largely out of the spotlight. Those who've seen glimpses of her describe her as bright, articulate, and full of life. She has a spark in her eyes, a mix of curiosity, strength, and charisma that's undeniably inherited from her father, but she also carries her mother's grace, poise, calm presence. Roman has said that Joelle is wise beyond her years, someone who asks thoughtful questions, loves to learn, and isn't afraid to speak her mind. Whether it's schoolwork, hobbies, or just playing around the house, Joelle brings joy and energy to everyone around her. She's also a girl who knows her roots, raised with Samoan values, respect for family, and a strong sense of culture. Joelle has been taught to stay grounded, no matter who her father is. Protection over fame. Being the daughter of a global superstar comes with its own challenges. Public attention, curiosity, and sometimes even pressure. But Roman and Galina have made one thing clear: their children come first. Despite his fame, Roman has consistently shielded Joelle from unnecessary exposure. Doesn't post her frequently. He doesn't bring her into wrestling storylines. And he rarely discusses her in interviews, unless it's to express how proud he is. It's all part of a deliberate choice to give Joelle the freedom to grow up on her own terms. To be more than just Roman Reigns' daughter, to be Joelle, a young girl with her own path and potential. And that potential, it's limitless. The future, could Joelle step into the spotlight? As Joelle gets older, fans have begun to wonder, could she follow in her father's footsteps? She's got the personality, the charisma, and the bloodline of wrestling royalty. With legends like The Rock, Rikishi, and of course, Roman Reigns in her family tree. It wouldn't be surprising if Joelle made a name for herself one day, in wrestling or perhaps something entirely her own. But whether she becomes a WWE diva, a doctor, an artist, or an entrepreneur, one thing is guaranteed: she has her father's support every step of the way. Roman has said time and again that he doesn't care what his children grow up to be, as long as they are happy, healthy, and strong. And knowing Joelle's heart, there's no doubt she'll make her own legacy, and it'll be one worth watching. More than a champion in the ring, Roman Reigns may be the tribal chief, feared, respected, dominant. But at home, he's a dad who melts at bedtime, hugs, and little handwritten notes. He fights giants, but Joelle is the one who holds his heart. She gave him purpose when he was just starting out. She grounded him when the world got loud. And today, she continues to remind him why he does what he does. Being a champion is temporary, but being a father, that's forever. The tribal chief, with a gentle heart, tinned the world of WWE. Roman Reigns is a symbol of strength, dominance, and greatness. From explosive entrances to championship victories, he carries himself like a warrior every time he steps into the ring. But when the cameras shut off and the roar of the crowd fades, another Roman appears, a quiet, loving, deeply devoted father. Most people know him as the head of the table, but behind the persona lives Liati Joseph Unoe, a proud father of 5 children, including not one, but 2 sets of twins. Yes, you heard that right, Roman Reigns, the powerhouse of WWE. It's also a full-time superdad at home. The first set of twins, 2016 and 2016, Roman and his wife Galina Becker were blessed with their first set of twin boys. It was a moment that changed everything. At the time, Roman was climbing fast in the world of wrestling, main eventing pay-per-views, winning championships, and building the legacy that would eventually lead him to become the tribal chief. But when those twins arrived, priorities shifted. Roman has always kept his sons out of the public eye, their names. Their appearances, even basic details about them, are kept private. It's not secrecy, it's protection. In a world where every moment is caught on camera and posted online, Roman made the conscious decision to keep his boys' lives normal, peaceful, and away from the pressures of fame. He wants them to grow up not as celebrities' kids, but as kids playing, learning, laughing, just being themselves. The second set a surprise in 2020 in an almost unbelievable twist. Roman and Galina welcomed a second set of twins in 2020, doubling their joy, and their responsibilities. Overnight, they went from parents of 3 to a bustling household of 5 children. It's a rare blessing, 2 sets of twins in one family, and Roman took it all in stride, calling it a beautiful chaos. As his WWE career continued to soar, so did his love and commitment at home. During interviews, he's admitted that raising so many little ones is no easy task, but he wouldn't trade it for anything. The house is always busy, the days are long, but the smiles, the hugs, and the laughter, that's what keeps him going. My kids are my biggest source of strength. Roman doesn't often speak about his personal life, but when he does, it's with emotion and honesty. In multiple interviews, he's referred to his children as his anchor, saying, "My kids are my biggest source of strength. They make everything I do feel worth it." Whether it's early morning workouts or grueling travel schedules, Roman keeps going because of what and who is waiting for him at home. He's a man driven not by ego, but by love. Love for his family, for his role as a father, and for the life he's built beyond the wrestling ring. The 2020 decision, family first, perhaps one of the most defining moments of Roman's family life, came in 2020, when the world was gripped by the COVID-19 pandemic. At the time, Roman was scheduled to compete at WrestleMania, but just days before the event, he made a choice that shocked the WWE universe. He pulled out. Why? Because he had newborn twins at home. And as someone who had previously battled leukemia, a condition that compromises the immune system, Roman wasn't willing to take any chances with his health or his family's safety. He said it simply, but powerfully. I chose my family. It was a decision that reminded the world that behind the muscles and the titles is a real man, one who leads not just in the ring, but at home. That moment also earned him immense respect, not just from fans, from fellow wrestlers and people around the world. Roman showed that true strength isn't always about fighting battles sometimes. It's about walking away from them for the right reasons. A house full of love and noise. Imagine a household with 2 sets of twins and an older sister. That's Roman's world. A mix of toy cars, bedtime stories, scattered snacks, school projects, and non-stop chatter. And in the middle of it all, one proud dad who wouldn't have it any other way. Roman has often said that even after wrestling matches, he comes home and goes right back into dad mode. No breaks, no celebrity treatment, just diaper changes, story time, and sometimes being turned into a human jungle gym by 5 energetic kids. But that's what makes it beautiful. Because no matter how many arenas he headlines or how many titles he wins, nothing compares to being dad. The legacy continues. With Roman's legendary status and the powerful Inoue family bloodline, many fans wonder, could one of his sons carry on the legacy? While they're still very young, the thought is exciting. If even one of them steps into the ring in the future, they'll carry not only their father's name, but also a story of love, discipline, and quiet strength. But Roman doesn't pressure them. He's always said he'll support whatever path they choose, wrestling or not.
Ow!
He wants us for them to grow up strong, respectful, and kind. Final thoughts: Roman Reigns may be the tribal chief inside the ring, but at home, he's the chief of hugs, the master of hide-and-seek, and the man who wakes up to daddy, shouted 5 times in the morning. His legacy isn't just built on titles and rivalries, it's built on bedtime routines. Packed lunchboxes and quiet moments holding tiny hands. He doesn't post pictures, doesn't show off his kids. Because for Roman Reigns, family isn't for the spotlight, it's for the soul. And that's why, behind every great champion, there's an even greater dad. The queen behind the tribal chief, they say. Behind every strong man stands an even stronger woman. In the case of Roman Reigns, that woman is Galena Becker, the woman who has walked beside him through every storm, every triumph, and every private moment far from the spotlight to millions. Roman Reigns is the tribal chief, is the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, the face of power, discipline, and dominance. But when the lights fade and the crowds go silent, the man behind the icon, Liati Joseph Inoue, goes home to someone who sees not the warrior, but the man, and loves him completely. Her name may not trend on social media. She may not appear in headlines often, but make no mistake, Galina Becker is one of the biggest reasons behind Roman Reigns' success. She is his strength, his calm, his sanctuary in a world of chaos. From athlete to life partner, Galina Becker isn't just Roman's wife. She's an athlete, a mother, and a woman of immense grace and determination. Born in Jacksonville, Florida, Galina was a standout track and field star. Her athleticism and competitive spirit matched Roman's from the very start. The two met while studying at Georgia Tech, where Roman played college football and Galina dominated in track events. Their shared background in sports created an instant connection, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. They understood each other's grind. The early mornings, the injuries, sacrifice, most importantly, the discipline it takes to chase greatness. Their chemistry was undeniable. While many college relationships fade with time, theirs only grew stronger, built on mutual respect, shared values, and a deep emotional connection. A quiet. Several years together, Roman and Galina made it official. In December 2014, the couple got married in a private and breathtaking ceremony on Castaway Cay, a secluded island in the Bahamas owned by Disney. While the world was obsessed with glitz and glamour, Roman and Galina chose intimacy and simplicity. Their wedding wasn't about headlines, it was about commitment. Surrounded by close family and friends, they exchanged vows in a setting that reflected their love, beautiful, peaceful, and full of soul. Since then, the couple has rarely stepped into the public eye together. There are few photos, rare interviews, no flashy displays of fame. And that's exactly how they want it. Their relationship is deep, private and personal, untouched by the demands of the spotlight, supporting Roman through every storm behind. Roman's toughest battles stood Galina, always silent, always strong. When Roman was diagnosed with leukemia, the world watched as he stepped away from WWE to focus on his health. Fans were shocked. His career was at its peak, but suddenly, everything changed. But what fans didn't see was the woman holding his hand when no one else was watching. The woman staying up late researching treatments, attending hospital visits, managing the home, and comforting their children, all while carrying the emotional weight of her husband's illness. Galina never once stepped into the camera frame. She didn't issue statements. She didn't seek sympathy. She just did what she has always done. Loved and supported her man with quiet strength. Roman has since spoken about those dark times and how he wouldn't have made it through without Galina by his side. Without her, I couldn't do what I do, Roman said in a rare, emotional interview. In those words, we see just how deep their bond runs. She isn't just a wife. She's a pillar of strength, a silent warrior in her own right. A loving mother to 5 children together, Galina and Roman have built a beautiful family. They are parents to 5 children, including 2 sets of twins, a rare and joyful blessing. Their daughter, Joelle, affectionately known as JoJo, was born in 2008 and is often described as the light of Roman's life. Then came their first set of twin boys in 2016, followed by another set of twins in 2020. Being the wife of a professional wrestler isn't easy. Long hours, travel schedules, and time apart can put tremendous pressure on any relationship. But Galina has embraced motherhood with the same strength and commitment she's always shown. She runs the household when Roman's on the road. She raises 5 children with grace, patience, and love, ensuring they grow up grounded, respectful, and aware of their cultural heritage. And she does it all without any need for outside validation, while Roman is leading the WWE locker room. Galina is leading at home, and together, they make a powerful team. A bond built on trust, not public applause in today's world. Where celebrity couples often showcase every detail of their relationships online, Roman and Galina are the exact opposite. They keep their love private but powerful. Their bond doesn't rely on posts, likes, or attention. It thrives in silence, in shared mornings, in family dinners, in small gestures that speak volumes. This rare level of discretion has helped them build something real, a relationship that isn't influenced by fame or public pressure, but rooted in trust, loyalty, and unconditional love. Fans often say Roman Reigns is one of the most disciplined, focused performers in WWE, but behind that discipline is a home life that gives him peace, and Galena is the heart of that home. The words that say it all, Roman doesn't talk about his wife often, but when he does, it's with deep admiration. She's my peace. She's the reason I can go out there and give everything I have. That one sentence captures what many miss. Roman Reigns may be the face of WWE, but Galena is the foundation beneath his feet. Their love story isn't loud. It's not filled with headlines or gossip. It's filled with consistency, commitment, and a rare kind of loyalty that lasts through every battle, both in life and in the ring. Final thoughts? The power of quiet supports. Often. Focus on the stars in the spotlight. The titles, the fame, the records broken, is but real success. The kind that lasts is often built on the shoulders of someone who never asks for recognition. Galena Becker is that someone. She is proof that real strength doesn't have to be loud. That being a good partner means standing beside someone, not just in celebration, through struggle. Roman Reigns may be the tribal chief, but Galena, she's the true queen of the empire they've built together. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And if you want more inspiring stories from the real lives of your favorite superstars, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay strong, stay kind, and we'll see you in the next one.